Well, good morning, everybody, and greetings, or whatever time of day it is that you're listening to this. If it's a recording, this is the School of Christian Mysticism, and this is a meditation in our current series, which is meditations inspired by our life's journey. That's Tim, Malcolm, and my life journey. And today it's myself. And this is my second meditation in this series. So last time in my first meditation, I drew on my own life's experiences of the last 5 or 6 years, and a growing sense of incarnation. And I shared some thoughts, some words from Cynthia Bourgeault on the centrality of the incarnation in Christianity. And I asked myself and asked you, what does it mean to be human, to be truly human? And this is a question which I'm finding many thinkers of the time are thinking, are drawing our attention to the importance of considering what does it really mean to be truly human. And in this meditation, I'd like to start with a Native American story. And it's a story which I found in a magazine in a waiting room of an audiology department when I took my mum there for her hearing aid servicing. So I can't vouch for its authenticity, but it really felt authentic to me. And the story takes place in the early times of the world, maybe in the time of dreaming, as the Aboriginals would have it in Australia. And all the animals and people, human beings, live together. And till one day, a crack appeared in the earth. And everyone, all those beings, watched the crack. And day by day, the crack grew longer, stretching for miles, and grew wider. And it approached the time when that crack became a crevasse. And it happened that at this time, human was on one side of the crevasse, and all the rest of the animals just happened to be on the other. And at the very last moment, Dog, seeing that human was to be alone and without other animals, leapt the crevasse to join the human being. And Dog said, "It is to ensure that this human being never forgets is her natural self, her nature, her very nature." And this story rung such a deep bell with me because I'm very fond of dogs, and dogs may re-emerge in our meditation a little bit later. But also because it struck at some kind of deep truth that as a human being, I am somehow separated or have separated myself. We have separated ourselves from the rest of our kin, our natural kin. And in 2018, Richard Rohr did a series on the body and incarnation. And so I'll be drawing from that. So he points out that when we're born, a fact that not only he points out but is widely known, as a baby we are in a state of unity, unconscious unity, and nevertheless unity, at one with our mother, at one with the world. But as we develop an ego self which helps us to separate out from our mother and gain a sense of individual identity. And it's a necessary, an important part of our development. So the crack has appeared and become that chasm that, as meditators and mystics, contemplatives, we seek to bring that division, to heal that wound. So let us become aware of our bodies. And this is easier said than done. One of the understood parts of a early on retreat in the alchemical process of retreat with Sufis is to remove our mind from our bodies, to become conscious of how we tell our bodies what they're feeling, and to interpret our sensations in a thinking way. But here we have a chance. I invite us to, with, with an attempt to withhold mental commentary, to just be in our bodies, to just be body and in sensation. So just noticing sensation in any part of the body, and trying not to give it a name. When we find a sensation, we can use the breath to breathe into it, to really bring our full consciousness to it, our bodily consciousness. I'm laughing at myself as I guide us in this, because as I was preparing for this meditation, I became more and more in my mind. And as a result, I became more and more tense and worried about what I would lead in this meditation, because really it's nonsense. We're just being in our bodies. But to be in our bodies is somewhat crucial. to our faith. Or Jesus incarnated fully into a body. Richard Rohr quotes John O'Donoghue, the Irish poet and priest, who says, "Your mind can deceive you and put all kinds of barriers between you and your nature. But your body does not lie. Your body tells you, if you attend to it, how your life is, and if you are living from your soul or from the labyrinths of your negativity. The human body is the most complex, refined, and harmonious totality. Your body is in essence a crowd of different members who work in harmony to make your belonging in the world possible. The soul is not simply within the body, hidden somewhere within its recesses. The truth is rather the converse. Your body is in the soul, and the soul suffuses you completely. Your mind can deceive you and put all kinds of barriers between you and your nature, but your body does not lie. Your body tells you, if you attend to it, how your life is, and if you are living from your soul or from the labyrinths of your negativity. The human body is the most complex, refined, and harmonious totality. Your body is, in essence, a crowd of different members who work in harmony to make your belonging in the world possible. The soul is not simply within the body, hidden somewhere within its recesses. The truth is rather the converse. Your body is in the soul, and the soul suffuses you completely. So we might hear perhaps that implicit in the body is its infusion of soul. He quotes also Barbara Brown Taylor, who says, "Our bodies are prophets. They know when things are out of whack, and they say so, although most of us welcome their news about as warmly as the people of Jerusalem welcomed Jeremiah. We would rather lock up our bodies than listen to what they have to say. Where Christians are concerned, this leaves us in the peculiar position of being followers of the Word made flesh, who neglect our own flesh, or worse, who treat our bodies with shame and scorn. I understood, she says, was that it was not possible to trust that God loved all of me, including my body, without also trusting that God loved all bodies everywhere. While we might not have one other thing in common, we all wore skin, we all had breath and breathing hearts. My body is what connects me to all of these other people. Wearing my skin is not a solitary practice, but one that brings me into communion with all these other embodied souls. And Richard Rohr says, your body is not an isolated, separate entity. We are our truest selves only in community with our ancestors, carrying their stories and DNA, our natural environment, and our neighbors. We are left in the peculiar position of being followers of the Word made flesh, who neglect our own flesh. Our minds are so overriding of our bodies. So let's continue to be in our bodies, to be in these bodies which are infused with soul, which are what connects us with the rest of the incarnate divine. Very often as meditators, we seek to get out of our bodies, to ascend and to rise above, to rise, to escape from the density of the earth. But so is here. Christ is incarnate. Christ is incarnate in us. And we might take a moment to notice what our minds are doing. Last night I went to see a film of Wilding. Some of you might have read the book Wilding by Isabella Tree, which tells the story of the wilding of the Knepp Castle estate in Sussex. And for those that may not have read this book yet, and it's the most amazing book, the most optimistic account of wilding. They decide to turn over their huge acreage, which has become starved through modern arable farming practices, to rewild itself. And at first there's what seems to be quite a mess, but gradually nature, the wild, reasserts itself. And birds come in great profusion. The dawn chorus is extremely loud. Insect life returns and the soil regenerates itself. And one has a real sense that if human beings are made extinct, nature in every other respect will not be long in becoming wild again and healthy again, unless we as people, human people, can lend ourselves to returning to nature, to the rewilding of ourselves, it seems to me. They tell the story of the almost extinct turtle dove just appearing on their land, somehow with a knowing that this is where it is okay to live. And butterflies, I forget the species now, somewhere in the Middle East, suddenly coming in enormous profusion to some thistles which had grown up. And beneath the soil, as we know now, there is a huge interconnection of tree roots and mycorrhizal fungi, which pass information from tree to tree about danger and possible disease. A community which supports each other. And above ground too, there is this communication that somehow enables a profusion of butterflies to appear because there are thistles growing on a Sussex estate. So our bodies have knowledge, thousands and thousands of years of knowledge, which goes right back, so to speak, through our ancestry, not only human ancestry, but all life forms, back to the beginning. And all of that is ours. We inherit it in every cell of our flesh. The Word made flesh. So, a question: what connects me to my body? What allows me to fully incarnate? What allows me to truly know the Eucharist, the body of Christ, the very body in myself? For me, it's my relationship with my dogs who bring me back to body and my breath. But we might all consider asking ourselves, what is it for me? I'd just like to finish by sharing some words of Brendan the Navigator, which is Brendan the Navigator was an early Christian Celtic monk who is famous for his voyages, uh, and we're not sure whether those voyages were internal or external, and probably both. But this is what he writes. In the beginning was silence, and out of the silence came sound, and out of the sound, and if you listen to Tim's meditation, you'll connect with the sound. And out of the sound, the word, and the word was vibration, which took shape in the alphabet of creation. Out of no thing, God spoke the word, which became matter, the order and substance of cosmos. Thus, through the word made flesh, all that is created out of silence resonates. All that is created out of silence, the word made flesh, resonates. In the beginning was silence, and out of the silence came sound, and out of the sound, the word. And the word was vibration, which took shape in the alphabet of creation. Out of no thing God spoke the word, which became matter, the order and substance of cosmos. Thus, through the word made flesh, all that is created out of silence resonates. Amen.